quite as loving. Like, he's loving in the way that he thinks works, but to me it kind of feels very manipulative, like, hey, I've got to tell you this because if you die, I don't want this on my conscience kind of thing, and it just seems like...
Well, that's his way of therapy.
I mean, it's his way of...
It's very just in case.
Right, and that's fine, but, you know, it's kind of... There's been, like...
But that way can be jarring also.
For sure. It's one of those things where this is a program ran by people, so it's not perfect. People in NA would like to tell you that the program is perfect and that the people are flawed. May or may not be true. I mean, you can spin it whatever way you want. Yeah. But one of the things that has really like pushed me away is that they have this saying that that NA doesn't need you, but you need NA, which to me sounds very like domestic abuser, like manipulative, like, you know, who's ever going to love you again kind of thing.
It does have a dark kind of undertone to it.
And I think, you know, part of my thinking, and this is, you know, obviously probably part of my own flaws, but it's like, well, if you don't need me, then we'll see what happens, you know, I'll try it my own way. Which everybody in the program will tell you that's dangerous, and they're probably not wrong. But I'm not going into it completely blind where I think that like I've got this.
Right.
You know, I'm still a little skeptical, a little scared, but you know, but I'm also positive. You know, like I when I started recovery, I chose to believe that I could do anything, and that I wasn't a victim of my circumstances. You know, that I'd made some bad decisions, and that all I needed to do was learn a new way to live. And I feel like in the past 2 years and some months, I've learned how to live pretty well.
For sure.
You know, without drugs.
And it's been exactly how long now? Your last chip, I guess, was...
My last chip was 2 years. So they do a 1, 2, 3 month chip, and then they do 6, 9, and 12. Mm-hmm. And then they do an 18, and then at 2 years they do it just every year.
Okay.
So I've been clean for 2 years, 1 month, 23 days, and 15 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. So
which is awesome.
Yeah, man. It's
definitely
pretty...
nothing to scoff at.
No.
You know. So I mean, as long as you're going into this next, I want to say inevitable step of recovery and kind of pulling yourself from NA, mm-hmm. As long as you have a plan in place, or an idea of what you want to do going forward, all I can do is support you.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, as long as it's not a step backwards, you know what I mean?
Right. The plan is just to keep doing what I've been doing, you know, not using drugs, talking to people who care about me and want to see me succeed. I still have, you know, all the literature from NA that, you know, I can read at any time, and I don't know, man. I just, like, you know, I would say that, like, the fear I have is more of a cautiousness, and
as
you know,
it should be.
And I'm just, you know, I choose to be more positive about it and not let the fear like control me. You know, like it's a guy. Like, hey, man, you know, you got to be careful. But
for sure,
you know, what I liken it to, like when people say, "Hey, you're gonna die without NA," kind of stuff, is the whole the way Christianity,
which is uber positive.
Yeah, which is the way that Christianity says you're gonna go to hell without salvation, and I think, well, you know, I appreciate...
Or I won't.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate your concern, but, you know, I think maybe I'm going to try this a little differently.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I mean, all I can do from here is support you, man. As long as it's not a step backwards.
Just don't buy me any drugs, dude.
I will make sure to take that off your Christmas list. And birthday list.
Yeah.
But
so how about you, man? Let's... I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. That's perfectly all right.
I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah. No. Let's see. Been in talks with a group of folks that are looking to put together a film.
Okay.
And in doing so, they're looking to put together a group of people, writers, gaffers, directors of photography, that kind of thing.
What's a gaffer?
Just a runner.
Oh, okay.
But to put together a group of folks for making films, and in the hopes of putting together a feature-length film somewhere in the future.
Okay.
But their steps the steps they're taking first off is to go through and do some short films leading up to the feature-length film.
Sure.
In order to kind of help them put together their all-star team that would basically do the feature-length film at the end.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking to help them out and be a part of that.
Nice.
And they want to do some, like I said, do some short films leading up to the feature-length film. And now it's just a matter of them kind of interviewing and chatting with a couple other writers and some other like-minded people that want to do films and stuff like that, and see who all fits where, if they fit at all, into the grand picture, and then go from there. So I'm excited about that.
What is it? A particular genre, or?
From what I gathered, the group seems to be more interested in like the paranormal, the supernatural, and like the sci-fi and the fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's a new venture. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I had a little sit down with them Monday night.
Nice.
And I feel like that went well. I'm not entirely sure.
So what are they going to like give you a call back and let you know if they want you on the team, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as they've told me, I should be hearing back within the next week or so to see if they're looking to move forward and how they're looking to move forward, if at all, with me in the picture. So I hope so, though.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, could be fun.
Probably.
But past that, had kind of a rough week last week.
Yeah.
Last week was definitely hard. I called it a bad mental health week. It started. The whole week started just like keeping weird hours with work and trying to do errands during the day and all that. And I've been arguing a lot with my stepson. He's 17, turns 18 this December in the middle of his senior year of high school, and he's doing what all teenage boys do, and they buck up against a parental figure.
Sure.
Now he's got mom, he's got dad, my wife's ex, and then me. Dad, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy his dad's company. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't say a bad word about the guy. The issue comes about in the fact that he goes and he spends every other weekend with his dad, and in that time, his dad's not like letting dishes pile up or letting his laundry pile up to where every 2 weeks, you know, my stepson comes over and he's like, oh, glad you're here. Now you can do the dishes while you're here and you can do the laundry. Like, he's a single guy living by himself. He handles his own dishes, handles his own laundry, and then when his son, my stepson, comes to stay with him every other weekend, all they've got is air and opportunity to do fun shit. Travel here, go here, you know, get pizzas, get wings, go fishing, whatever.
Right.
Like, he's the fun time dad, you know.
Yeah.
That's not to say though, if he snaps his fingers and says, "Hey, do this, get on it," that my stepson doesn't hop on it. Like, he gets right to it. But when he comes back here, he's with us every other day besides, the every other weekend, and it just seems like he wants to go against anything and everything I say, even if it's the simplest thing. We asked him to clean the kitchen a couple weeks ago, and he moved. I think it was a DVD. Like, his little brother and sister, like to get into our DVDs, and they tossed a DVD somewhere, and my wife picked it up and put it on the kitchen counter, and went back to managing them. So we asked my stepson to clean the kitchen, and he takes that same DVD, and rather than walk it over the 10 feet to put back in the DVD case like his mom could have done also, he took it from the kitchen counter and then placed it on the desk, basically passing it off to the next person. And I made the simple comment, "Hey man, rather than do that, why not take the DVD from the counter, walk over here and put it into a DVD case?"
Right.
The buck's already been passed on. Don't pass the buck again. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was just met with, well, I don't know where the case is. So, well, it's okay. It's probably over there. Yeah. I doubt it. Okay, like, I don't understand where the aggression has to come from. Like, I'm just giving simple, like, helpful hints, like helpful tips, like, hey, rather than passing the buck again, just nip it in the bud here. And it's always met with just the most aggressive, I doubt it, or I don't like that, I don't want to, I think that's stupid. Like, why? Just, I don't know. I guess I miss the days of being able to talk to him, and it's just, hey man, as your parental figure, I think you should do this. Okay, I'll get on it. Simple as that. Then we can go to the park, we can go skateboarding, we can go do this, do that, whatever. Now everything is just aggressive and mean-spirited, and I'll admit, back when a lot of this attitude was coming back towards me, I am a grown child. Like, I am the first. I'm very immature in that sense.
Right.
I'm petty as shit. Somebody comes at me with that attitude, and if you want to play who's the bigger dick, I can play, like,
right.
and I can keep up. I can more than keep pace. So I'll admit, in the beginning stages of all this, I definitely like push back harder. But after a few talks with my wife, where she's like, just mellow out. I thought, okay, I'll do that. I'll mellow out. I'll pull back, and in me pulling back, I've noticed that my wife tends to exacerbate the situation and let things get worse and worse. And with me pulling back, it's like, okay, she's gonna handle this. At some point she's gonna step in and nip this in the bud, and it never happens.
Right.
So as of late, the struggle's been more intense. It's been harder to kind of manage. And then the thought that he's going to be 18 soon. If he's not listening to me at 17, when he's 18 and legally an adult, what the hell am I going to be able to tell him then?
Nothing.
So it's hard. Like, I want to be there for his graduation and celebrate with him and congratulate him and that kind of thing. But the way things are going, if anything, it feels like that day's going to come along, and it's just going to be, finally I get away from Brandon. I just, you can't win. And so dealing with that, and one thing that really hit me hard is my son Jack is he turned 3 in January.
Okay.
So he's 3 years and 4 months. My daughter is 1 year and 4 months.
Okay.
And my daughter